and welcome back to another video. My name's Destiny. We do all kinds of things here, and today we're going to do my TBR for May and the Goober Readathon. If you don't know what that is, it is a readathon that Jesse Curran is putting on, and it's all about their mascot, Ghosty Goober, who is taking up botany. I think so. How she phrased it. He wants to learn all about plants, and you read books to help him learn more and to expand his knowledge on said plants. And so I have a couple books that fit a bunch of the prompts, and then all the rest of the prompts I'm hoping to, fingers crossed, I'm hoping to do audiobooks to fill them up. I would like to get to like the top tier. That's the goal. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So I am going to go through and just give you the overall section that I'm looking at and the prompt that I'm reading this book for. I'm going in order from section A to section B. Again, if you want to know more, go look at Jesse's video. She gives you so much more detail than I'm going to give you here. But for the first book, I'm going to be reading, well, let's do it this way, actually. So for first off, we're looking at native plants. The first prompt under native plants, there's one point, is a book you own. And for that, I could use really any of these that I have on my TBR, or any of these that are here, because I own 90% of these. But for that one, I'm going Before I Let You Go by Kendi Ryan. This one is a Black romance that has been recommended 103 times, and my book of the month box let me add it for less than they want it on Amazon or thrift books for it. So I added it on in February, and so now I really want to read it and get into it and see what I think. Like I said, I don't know much and I don't want to. I'm not going to give you great synopsises for some of these because I don't want to know more than the synopsis going in, because I feel like the synopsis spoils it, and I really don't want to be spoiled. I just want to enjoy the book and like experience the story as the author wrote it. So this is my first book for this TBR. Next, I have Ecological Restoration. If we saying that wrong, I apologize if I am. And for that one is a continuous series, and for that I want to read Electra by Kaylee Smith. Last month I finished Phantasm and absolutely freaking loved it. I was kicking my feet giggling, I was speculating in my annotations, and it was kind of predictable because I called it from like 20%, but it was that kind of predictable that I absolutely love. So I really want to read Electra. No, it's not Electra. Enchantra. Baby, jeez, I can't talk today. My brain went bleh. But I want to read Enchantra. I'm excited for this. This is the second one. If I'm right, there's going to be a third, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. This one follows a sister. The first one follows Ophelia. She is a necromancer. In the very beginning, her mother passes away, and they find her mother dead on the floor, and she immediately starts into the ritual to save her magic because her mom told her and has been training her, like, when I pass away, you have to immediately do this within, I think, an hour of her passing, otherwise you will lose the magic. And so she does, and she finds out that her mom had burrowed against the house, and like shit was just imploding around them, and she and her sister get in a fight about it, and her sister ends up in Phantasm, which is a 9-night game that you have to participate in, and the stakes are really high. You could lose your life. Like, people die in this game, and like when you enter it, they tell you like, we are not to be held responsible for this. Like, you're entering this knowing you could die, kind of thing. And so she enters it looking for Genevieve, and things happen. And so this one follows Genevieve and another game that she enters in Italy, I believe. All right. Yes. Yes, in Italy. So we're going to find out where that leads. I will say that Phantasm left one string hanging that I'm hoping this wraps up. I won't tell you what it is, but there is a plot line that kind of left hanging. It's not really a cliffhanger. The book does wrap up pretty in a bow, and if you don't really care about the mystery, if you're just in it for romance, then you're fine. But if you're curious and want the mystery like I usually do, there's a plot line I hope we continue here. Next is edible plants. And for that one, we have home growing. And for it, I'm going to read, in Home Growing is a recent addition to your TBR. And for that, I'm reading Heavenly Tyrant. I am so excited for this. I actually picked up the first one, which is Iron Widow, on a whim. The library had it available for to listen to, and I was like, you know what, it looks interesting, why not? And fell in love. So I am so excited for this. I did buy this full price because your girl needed it. Okay, I needed it. I needed to know how it was going on. And then as I was about to start it, the Ghosted Goober Readathon came along, and so I put it on pause. I'm not starting it till May 1st, and you'll understand why here in a minute. But this one follows, I want to say, China's great matriarch. It is a why choose romance. And yeah, it has, I want to say, like, large dragons. Like, she fights in a large mythical dragon suit. Don't quote me on this. I could be wrong. I read the first one so long ago that I'm trying to get my hands on either the ebook or the audiobook for the first one so I can reread it and then, have that fresh in my brain. But if not, I'm going to read a synopsis and go into this one because I remember enough of the plot to understand and go into it. So yeah, I have that one. Next, is Foraging in Wild Foods, either secondhand or borrowed. And for that one, I'm doing a library book, so I borrowed it from the library. That should count. And that is An Academy of Liars. I know nothing about this, to be honest with you. I don't want to. I saw it on the library's website, and then I read the blurb. A student will find that the hardest lessons sometimes come from the outside the classroom in this stunning dark academia novel from acclaimed author of The Year of the Witching in House of Hunger. So I'm excited to get into it. I really didn't need no more than that. Dark academia, right up my list. I'm hoping to get this completely done. I'm excited to give this a try. Next, I'm really excited for this one. I've been putting off a lot of the physical books I wanted to read after finishing Phantasma for this readathon. Next is the medicinal plants. And the first one I have is Herbal Remedies Could Cure a Reading Slump, and that is Death by Laura Vassal. I love her books. I just finished her Bargainer series. Like, I read the entire thing audibly. I listened to it while playing Super Mario Brothers, a new game, and so her books could completely fix a reading slump for me. So I'm definitely doing this one. If you've never heard of this series, this is the last in the Four Horsemen series. So in the first one, you find out that the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse have been sighted, and pestilence is riding through North America, just killing everybody. Everybody's getting sick and dying, and you meet Sarah and her colleagues, co-workers at the fire department decide to draw straws who's going to stay back and try to kill pestilence to stop this. And Sarah draws the short end of the stick, basically, and they offer to trade with her, and she's like, no, we set this up, we're doing this, because she's the only female. Let me say that she's the only female, so they offer to trade or whatever. And she goes out, she kills pestilence, but then she finds out he's unkillable. Like, she burns his body to a crisp. Sorry, that's a little gross, but she burns his body to a crisp, and the next morning she wakes up with his skeleton hand around her throat because he had regenerated enough to find her, and he drags her along with him, basically. And the series is a romantasy, how you put it. I'm still conflicted on that terminology, because is it a romance set in a fantasy world? So if you took the romance out, there would be no plot in that romantasy, or is it, if you took the fantasy away, there would be no plot in that? I would, if it's the other way, let's say romantasy is if you took the romance away, there's no plot, and then fantasy romance is if you took the fantasy plot. This would be fantasy romance. There is a plot line through this. It is not just them falling in love and like finding their one person or whatever. There is a plot line. There is a overarching theme and plot that you're following here. So I would say it's fantasy romance. I love it, and I can't wait to get into Death. I'm so excited. When I finished Famine, I was at work when I finished Famine, and I finished it and was like, oh my gosh, that's so good, blah, 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 blah. And my coworker, who has read all of them except Death, I think, she asked me, she's like, how do you feel? I was like, I want Death now. And she started laughing. And she's like, maybe you should rephrase that. I was like, okay, I want the next book in the series now. It was a whole running joke for a little while there. So I'm excited for this. Next, I have Poisonous Plants and early identification, and the prompt for that is eye-catching cover, and for that I have Full Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. I think this is monster romance. I've checked it out twice from the library because I've seen it on TikTok a lot and just wanted to give it a try. Yeah, this cover is just beautiful to me. The blue into the pink into the blue, green, yellow. It's just beautiful. Beautiful. The cover catches me every time I go to read it. And not to mention, look at those end papers. The end papers are beautiful. They're spray edges. Like, I can't wait to get into this. I'm really, really, really excited for this one. Next, I have Aquatic Plants, and Microaquatics is the one I'm reading for, and it has less than 300 pages or less. And for that, I have Elon Harris's Say a Little Prayer. This one has 295, right? 96. 296 pages, so just shy. I honestly don't know what this is about. I love Elon Harris's books. I have most of them. I'm missing a couple, and they're on my wish list, but yeah, it's less than 300 pages, and this is what I wanted to read. I have no clue what this is about. He usually writes LGBT romance, so I'm excited. Next, I have so now we're entering section B, and these can be read in any order. You don't have to do them all together. I am going to try to complete all the actions. I'm actually going, fingers crossed, to the dollar store tomorrow night so that I can get a pot. I have soil and I have seeds, so I'm going to start a plant growing. Hopefully it gets like big and beautiful. My plants on the patio already are starting to sprout and like be beautiful, so hopefully that happens for me. But Biodiversity Basics, this is to read one of the TBR, one book from each host TBR. So first one, I have The Assistant to the Villain, and this is why I didn't start any book before now, because the rules are you can bring one book with you that you have not reached 50% in yet. And so I'm rereading this and annotating it for you guys, and I'm not 50% yet into it. I'm almost 50%. Like, I'm getting close to 50%, but I'm not there yet. So this one will count, and I have put a pause on reading it until May 1st, and then I probably will finish it like May 2nd, if nothing else. And then I'll have that video to work on for you guys to edit it for the rest of the month, basically. Then I have The Road of Bones for number 2. I honestly don't know what this is about. It was one of the book of the month picks that I picked out. I'm not sure where this is going to lead me. Honestly, I may try to find the audiobook for it because it is a chunky one. And it's 539 pages, so she is a chunk. So I may try to find it on audio and listen to it instead, because that would be just a little easier try to get done. And then lastly, Jessie Curran's was the hardest one for me to find a book for, because the library did not have any audiobooks of the ones that were on her TBR. There was no ebooks for the ones, or wouldn't be available within the time I needed them. So I happened to physically look for at the library, and they had One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. I know really nothing. I know that everybody recommends it on TikTok. I have tried starting it twice on audio, and I'm wondering if this is going to be one that I need to do a physical read of. So I don't know, but I'm going to give it a try. So there's that. And then lastly, there was one more, and that is Advanced Horticulture. Horticulture. And for that, I don't remember if she said we could use like one book for 2 prompts. I want to say that we can. I'm going to go over watch her video. If I can use one book for multiple prompts, then I won't be reading this one. I'll just finish Assistant to the Villain, and it will account for 2. If I can't, then I will be picking up the Morganville Vampires Volume 1. I'm hoping just to read the first one. And redo these tabs, because dear Lord, I was using the like plasticky ones, and I hate the feel of them. Oh, I hate the feel of them. So I'm hoping to read the first one, and I want to say it's like short, because this one has 2 books in it. Yes, it has Glass Houses, and the Great Dead Girls Dance, which is the first 2 in this series. And I want to say Glass House. It does not give me a... Well, that's stupid. And it doesn't look like it stops. Like, no. It doesn't like give you a clear breakdown. I mean, it does, but it doesn't give you a clear... I'm trying to find it. Oh, yeah. There's 4. Okay, which this one, honestly, if I do this one too, if I do this for my reread and I can use more than once, then this one also counts for under 300 pages. So I have options. But this follows Claire. I had to think. Claire ends up going to college in Morganville, and Morganville has a secret. It has vampires. And so they tell you don't go out after dark, don't be out partying, blah, 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 all that kind of thing. And the town has a border around it where the vampires cannot leave. And when you leave, you forget that there are vampires. Like, it wipes your memory. And this series is a very long one. I want to restart it because I now own all of them. And actually 2 of them I own multiple copies of. I didn't realize I had a copy of 2 of the books, and so I ordered 2 more, trying to finish out this series, and it happened. So this will be my reread. If it can't, like, Assistant to the Villain can't count, or I may just pick this up for the reread because I want to, and then I won't read the Elon Harris. I have options. I have all the options. So that is for the propagation station, which is a reread. Now, let's talk about what I want to read on top of everything, if outside of the readathon. So, I cannot count that king shooting out. I cannot count either one of these for the readathon because you can only take in one book that you have already started. And I have started both of them, which technically I don't think that one of them I'm not going to count that I started it because it's been so long ago that I'm going to have to reread what I started. And I only got like 2 pages in, and that is Dark Succession by Katie Roberts. It is not less than 300 pages, but maybe I can get it like to fit in somewhere else because it's 315 pages, so maybe I can fit it in on one of the other props that I don't have yet. But I really want to get this read. I love a Katie Roberts. I finished Blood on the Tide. I don't know what that series is called, but I finished it. I finished the first two in it and absolutely loved it. I have read all of her Wicked Villain series. I have read all the way up to the last two in the Dark Olympus series, which I fucking love. Like I can't wait to get my hands on the next one, that one. So I have it to finish, and then I have never read these, so I want to get this a try. And then I also have, I think, Vampire Queen on my Kindle. I need to charge my Kindle. On my Kindle that I may try to give a read, but we shall see. And then the other one I'm adding to this because I just want to finish it. This one, I just want to get it done because honestly, I've been reading it for months at this point. And that is The 13th Child by Aaron E. Craig. Aaron A. Craig. I would not suggest this one. I picked this up from Book of the Month because I absolutely loved her House of Salt and Sorrow and House of Roots and Ruin. They are atmospheric. They are good. They are so well written. This one just is falling short for me, and I don't know why. I'm interested enough that I don't DNF, but I'm not interested enough that I keep wanting to like grab for it and read it. So this is going to be my first book for the next week. So hopefully I can finish it, but we shall see. Yeah. So there you have it. There is my TBR. I will catch y'all on my next one. Let me know, are you participating in this readathon? Had you heard about this readathon? If not, will you participate? It'll be a lot of fun, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, guys.